Welcome back to the online learning platform at Civil Engineering Department, BMS Institute of Technology. So far, we have all understood the theoretical concepts of wears. We have also understood its significance in real-time scenarios. Further, we had explained to you the basic setup of this experiment. In this video, we will be explaining to you how the experiment has to be conducted. For the convenience of better understanding, in this video we shall not be carrying out the actual operation, because when you do that, then there will be a lot of sound generated and our explanation cannot be heard. So now we will imagine how this experiment has to be carried out. All right, so the first step what we need to do is we need to make sure that the sump contains water. The next thing we need to make sure that since we are using a centrifugal pump, we need to ensure that the pump has been primed. With these two basic requirements satisfied, let us start the experiment. In the first step, you need to switch on the green button. By switching on this green button, basically what happens is water will be sucked or displaced due to the centrifugal pump from the sump. So from the sump, water will get transported into the open channel via the white pipe. Okay, here we need to remember that there is a gate valve. This is meant to regulate the flow of water. Either you can do it in an increasing trend or a decreasing trend. All right, so for the varying number of turns, the flow rate also would vary. Okay, so let us say when we are starting the experiment, we start on an increasing note. So we open the gate valve for, let us say, one turn. For one turn, this experiment is supposedly working. So what will happen? For this one turn, the water will be entering through this pipe and then it enters the open channel. When it enters the open channel, please note the water will be turbulent. It would have lot of energy associated. Okay, so hence in order to dissipate it, in order to make the flow streamlined, laminar, uniform, we have a baffle in place. This baffle acts as an obstruction and will dissipate all the energy and make the water calm. So then what would happen? The water will enter the channel, and when the water enters the channel now, it would be more calm and uniform. With these properties, what is going to happen? Water will approach the channel and reach the weir. For this instance, you are looking at a broad-crested weir. It also may be a Ogee weir, or it also may be a Venturi flume. Okay, what is that we are supposed to do when the water approaches the broad-crested weir, Ogee weir or Venturi flume? The first thing you need to ensure is that the water is moving slowly and calmly along this open channel. Okay, depending on what device you have attached. Okay, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that the point gauge is touching the weir. Okay, so the first step is you need to make sure that the point gauge is touching the broad-crested weir at this edge. Okay, and when it is touching at this edge, you need to make the scale reading at 0, 0. I need to use this knob to make it 0, 0. And I need to use this knob to move the point gauge up and down. Please remember, once you have fixed this, then with the regular conduction of experiment, you are not supposed to touch this knob anymore. You're only supposed to use this knob and lift the point gauge depending on the water level. So if it is a broadcasted weir, you're supposed to keep it at this critical junction. Okay, this is basically the height at the topmost height of the weir. Now let us say you're talking about a ogee weir. If it's a ogee weir, then let us say I'm keeping the ogee weir here, and you're imagining that ogee weir has been attached. Then you're supposed to take the reading at this junction. Okay, that is, this is the maximum height which the weir can store water. Now let us say we are talking about the venturi flume. Then how do you do it? If it is a venturi flume, then yes, you have got three sections. You got convergent, divergent, and the throat. So you are supposed to take readings at 2 points. First point being the entry. That is the convergent section. The second reading you must take at the throat. That is at this section. Okay. And when the water level rises for different flow rates, you have to raise the point gauge and take one reading here and one more reading here. So, in simple words, for a broadcasted weir, ogee weir, you are taking point gauge readings only at one point. But in a venturi flume, you must take the reading twice, at the convergent section and at the throat. Please do not forget this. Okay, now what next? Now that you have fitted your point gauge to touch the weir, which is your starting point, okay, you also made the scale to 0, 0. What is to be done next? You have to basically change the flow rate. Using the gate valve, increase the flow rate. So when you increase the number of turns, obviously water will enter with greater velocity and greater discharge. So same process, the water will enter through white pipe, enter the open channel. When it enters the open channel, it meets the baffle. This baffle will dampen the turbulence, make the flow uniform. The water enters. Now here is what is important for us. Okay, now when the water has entered here at a different flow rate, obviously the water level will rise. Now when the water level rises, we need to use this knob and lift the point gauge. Okay, let's say the water level is at this height. So then you have to attach it at this height. So when you do that, this reading would have changed. So you need to take note of this reading. That is, the water, when its level has risen, it has displaced. So before this reading was 0, 0, but now if you can observe very carefully, it is roughly showing 3.3. This reading has to be taken in your record. Now what is that we need to do further? For this given flow rate or any number of flow rates, okay, the water from the open channel will be entering into your collecting tank. When it is entering the collecting tank, depending on your regulatory valve, the water will be falling back into sump. But now what you have to do is, you need to close the valve. When you close the valve, water which enters the collecting tank will be collected in this tank itself and does not fall into the sump. Now when the water is collecting here, water level will start rising in the piezometer. So you can see the piezometer here. Here you are supposed to carry out taking readings. How do you do that? There are two ways. One, you can have constant head or constant time. For example, for a given flow rate, that is, let's say for 1 turn of gate valve, 2 turns of gate valve, what you should do is take readings. Say for example, for 10 seconds using a stopwatch, for 10 seconds, how much water level rises, or taking 10 centimeters as a constant height, how much time will it take to rise? Obviously, for different flow rates, the rise in water level or time taken for water level to rise will change. These readings have to be documented. So for every turn of the gate valve, for every flow rate, you must take two readings. The first reading is the reading of the point gauge. The second reading is in the piezometer. Please note, more number of iterations will give you better results as it would reduce the machine error and human error. So I hope that you understood this explanation. The next video will show you the basic working of it. Thank you.